Namaste, dear friends, Corona buddies. I would just like to begin by acknowledging that I am part of the chain of horrific events going on in the United States and its repercussions in other cities and other places in the world. And as an artist and as a human being, I stand in solidarity with the protests that are going on. And I am very saddened and angered by all of it.
Here's my question. Are you having crazy dreams?
Yes, I have been dreaming a lot and very vividly lately.
They were vivid and they're pretty unpleasantly shocking.
My friend's soul had been spliced into an apple tree, and the apples were kind of him.
There's one dream that stands out for me. A dream of my late father, may his soul rest in peace. In one of the dreams of his that I had, he was wearing my shoes. There is a play I wrote. It's about my father's pair of shoes. Yeah. Very, very amazing and very deep and enlightening and awakening dream. Not necessarily crazy.
I want to know the moment that you felt you are touched or healed during this corona period. I felt I was healed by listening to the live piano sound that my daughter was playing. It was not great music, but just that sound made me feel healed.
I opened the window, I had my neck out, and I closed my eyes, and I just felt the breeze. I smelled the trees. I smelled the smell of nature. I could hear the trees dancing and birds singing.
Definitely my son. I'm living vicariously, somewhat vicariously through him, his just sort of pleasure in being alive. Except when he bumps his head, then it's like the world is ending for about 20 seconds, and then he's okay again. And I think the rate at which he recovers has been really essential for me.
I have been volunteering a lot in the local community, shopping for people who are self-isolating and can't shop for themselves. And I've met lots of especially older people in the community, and that has been amazing because it's obviously exciting for them as well. If you come and shop for them once a week, you might be the only person they've seen all week, so they're really delighted to see you, and you're delighted to see them, and you have a really lovely conversation.
The moment that has touched me or healed me in this process, in this lockdown, is really when I took my first singing class with a teacher in a small village in India online. It was like an hour that I could just gift to myself, and it was just mine.
I think I was touched and healed 1,000 times. I have a number of mornings where I would wake up and look at the news and read what's happening around the world and see the number. I just feel so grateful at that moment. You know, I have a number of those moments where I felt like sometimes I want to cry, like tears of joy, tears of appreciation.
Also, people in my building. I hardly knew anyone here before coronavirus, and now I know most of the people who live here by name. And you sort of come home from a run, and there's a little Tupperware box outside your door with some cinnamon buns in it. I've had more brownies in the last few months than ever before.
Did this process trigger something
And what do you imagine happening at the end of our last episode? Is there a Coronavirus season 2?
First of all, I learned how to make a video of myself.
Talking to a camera has been a lot harder than I thought it would be. I think really good for me. I've enjoyed confronting myself on the screen, you know, and like going like, oh, is that what I really want to say?
Now I am feeling more positive about using videos for international collaborations.
For me, its greatest value is that once a week I've got to check in with myself and ask myself how I'm doing. You know, I don't really sit around and talk about how I'm feeling.
There's so much value for me in sharing your experiences, but most importantly, hearing that other people are going through the same things that you're going through. I think it's very easy in everyday life to feel like you're alone in what you're experiencing, and actually as soon as someone else says something that you go, oh yeah, I think that's exactly how I felt as well, you feel the weight of it come off you a little bit.
Because of this process, I could accept about myself more. I could feel the value of myself more. I feel I am free from the notion of the society here, but it's more like open. And then I can feel free and honest to what I feel valuable myself.
It's empowering because you know there's another episode coming, or that the conversation is continuing somehow. It's building to something.
It would be lovely to stay connected in some way, shape or form. We could do a project all together, come up with some long distance collaborative thing that we can all do.
I think there's an incredible energy that has evolved and developed amongst us.
I felt it, that it was very real and very true, and something connected us.
I think it would be interesting if we could collaborate and try to create something together.
Maybe there's a sort of artistic collaboration, a distance artistic collaboration that uses all the elements of the things that people do somehow.
For example, in my case, I want to tell you Japanese folk tales. And then if something that inspiration happens, then maybe you can edit or add more music or add dance.
A poem, a monologue, a song.
I see endless possibilities, man. I see endless possibilities.
I have no expectations, just a desire to share in the artistry of my colleagues.
I think I'll miss this little weekly moment, you know? Yeah.
Before I began participating in this, I was very hesitant because I felt very disqualified, and because I knew I was young and had so much doubt in myself. As someone who's at a stage where I feel very lost and don't know what to do next, as someone who's like looking up to people who have possibly walked the same path as me or have experienced like me, it's very good to just listen to. It's very inspirational, very moving sometimes. Felt the unity, and yeah, I don't know what's waiting next, but it's like because of this experience, I feel like I just gained the courage to break through anything now.